Herrmann brain dominance instrument. The Herrmann brain dominance instrument is a great way to upgrade and improve people's brains. That is by expanding the ways they have preferences for cognitiveness. I'll say it again. So I suppose the Herrmann brain dominance instrument is a instrument for cognitive preferences, and just being to one pole or one extreme of the index is not useful. It's important to try to help your brain become more balanced. It's important to try to work to improve one's brain so that it scores highly on preferably all of the positive aspects of all of the 4 different dimensions. So it's important to be able to take the best traits from each of the dimensions and incorporate them into one's thinking style. So this is a good way to help to improve one's brain. As I said earlier, it's quite useful to have a brain whereby you are able to think imaginatively in creating creative solutions with a linear sequential structure to your thinking, and also by being able to get this work done on time and on budget in a no-fuss, matter-of-fact way. That is, while also interacting with one's team members in a way whereby you are respectful of their needs and of who they are. It's important not to be brash, and all these things should be integrated into how one functions in teams. It's important to take the best of each of these areas, and by an idea of binary opposition, it's important to work to be able to incorporate many different ways of interacting into who one is, so that we can be most effective in teams. And this is most effective in teams, and also most effective in our way to develop answers to solve problems. That is because when we upgrade our brains, and when we are able to access information from multiple thinking modalities, we're able to produce better results. If the brain of the team is too separated amongst different members of the team, it may not be as useful because of the lack of capacity to fully integrate knowledge from that system all into the one whole. So the more skills each team member has, the better the team will function, because they're able to do much more of the integration of information themselves. But I still do feel that discussions are a very useful way to improve the answers one produces, the team produces, because with discussions we're able to create solutions we could never create on our own. That is, to create answers or options we could never create on our own. So the Herrmann brain dominance instrument is a great way to help to improve our brain so we can think of better answers. I feel that the Herrmann brain instrument helps improve our thinking so that we can work better. I feel that the best teams are small, close teams, because when there are too many members, the information is too spread out over a too big a group, and as such, in a discussion, people don't have as much of an input because only one person can talk at a time. So sure, there is benefit which can be gained from online social media, whereby many can communicate all at once via the computer, via the internet. But I still feel as though there is an important role for small teams which function and operate together in the one geographical location at the one time. But there also is the benefit of crowdsourcing ideas via social media. Anyway, so I feel that the Herrmann brain dominance index is a great way to help us to improve the quality of our thinking. It also can help by improving effectiveness, because some people may lean towards one or a combination of styles of thinking. So by delivering our information to that person via their style, via their cognitive preference, this can help them to receive the information in their preferred style, and thus be able to assimilate it into their brain, their memory, into their working memory in a way which is most beneficial for them. The only thing is that with people in teams, especially if they're meeting for the first time, they can make a mistake as to a person's personal cognitive style, personal cognitive preferences, and thus they may then work to deliver information to that person via the wrong cognitive style, and that person may then mimic them and give information to them via their wrong cognitive style. So in a way, there is the potential for team members to deliver information via not their dominant style to perpetuity, all because of one mistake early on. This is why it's important to be honest and to tell people, to tell others what one's preferred cognitive style is, so that, I suppose, can be useful, but it also can be good to do what Edward de Bono did, which is to put on different thinking hats. That is, different cognitive style or cognitive preference thinking hats. So the quality of our answers is dependent upon the questions we ask and our cognitive preference. So if there is a person with the analytical thinking hat on, they will be interested in the details, in the objective, in the technical knowledge, and being rational and logical and critical, and they will produce different answers to if someone has the thinking hat on of being imaginative and intuitive, although it can be hard to fake intuition for developing answers. So I suppose that's a hard one to fake. But I'm saying if a person tries to be imaginative or creative, or those sorts of things, or even to take more risks, they're going to ask different questions and thus lead to different answers. Just like if someone is interested in working on ways to consider the interpersonal dimension of the team members, or if someone is has on the sequential thinking hat and is interested in control, that is, in controlling themselves, controlling others, in getting the work done on time. It's also important to have work done on budget too. All these different constraints of how we think will lead us to produce different work. That is as a highly imaginative idea may, so I suppose one version may produce work which is may cost a fortune to implement, or if it's combined with the on budget, on time, no fuss approach, then the person may be able to think of very innovative, low cost, creative and imaginative answers which are ideal or optimum or near ideal optimum. So I suppose the Herrmann brain dominance index is a great way to help citizens to upgrade their brains, and I feel that hypnosis can play a great role in creating the permanent change to expand our brains, because by just using thinking hats and other techniques, it can be very effortful and slow and produce very minimal progress. So I feel as though hypnosis can be a great way to make changes and make them permanent and fast. And also how we deliver information to others can be a good way to build rapport and also to have some fun and to expand our brain. So it can also be fun to put on different thinking hats, or even try to look at information or questions or topics from a different perspective. That is, as looking at a topic from that of a CEO, or from the perspective of a person who likes football, or that of a engineer, or of a doctor, or of a lawyer. They all tend to produce different results because those different ways of thinking lead to the asking of different questions which guide the work in different ways. The best approach, I feel, is to try to become balanced so that our brains can hopefully optimize the best perspective for the topic, and thus lead to the right questions being asked. Groovy.